Okay, people. So, it would be unfair, wouldn't it, not to tell you a little bit more about some strange events that I've had. And I wanted to obviously follow up from the very first video I made, which was about, who got me into hip hop in the first place. I give people a chance to guess. It's on YouTube, but, they haven't yet. But I'm sure, that some people might think or assume it's like quite popular hip hop people. It's not really. It was Shaggy of all people. I was listening to Shaggy on a fruit and veg run with my mum. She used to have a fruit and veg van and deliver fruit to people and vegetables and stuff. And she used to put on these tape cassettes, and radio came on one day. And I remember hearing "Oh Carolina," "Oh Carolina," and I just loved that tune. I just loved it. It was a red hot summer's day. That tune was on the go, and I really like that kind of Jamaican feel. And back then there was no like MTV or anything like that, so I'd wait for this tune to come along on the radio, and then I started to notice, a lot of other types of music were out there that were, in that kind of genre of music, and hip hop was one of those things I started to notice. Like I've got Five on it, and Biggie Smalls, stuff like that was coming out. Never been a big fan of Tupac, but I think he was out at the time as well. People always wonder why I wasn't a big fan of Tupac, but it's not that I don't think the gentleman had talent, definitely, but he just wasn't my cup of tea. I think he was a bit too showy offy for my taste. But I found Biggie Smalls good, and then I got into Mace and P Diddy and all that, and enjoyed that, and went on from there really, um, into other genres of hip hop until eventually, I found my calling. I thought at that point, way before Eminem and all that sort of stuff started coming out. But it was nice to see Eminem come out later on down the line as well, and got quite into him, as you could probably imagine. So yeah, I mean that's what started me off in hip hop. But I wanted to, and I'll put this on my Odd World Talks thing on YouTube, I should imagine. But I just wanted to give you my next story. And if people want to drop a comment or a like or whatever for these kind of stories, and want to perhaps post their story, I'm happy to read that story out. Just don't make it too big or too long-winded, because it'll take me a while to read it all out, and it might be that, it'll be a nightmare for you to type it all out as well. So just try and make it short and sweet if you've got something similar to the story I'm about to tell, and then see what you make of it. So I'm going to do my stories in reverse, as in through my life. So I'll go back to a story now that's sort of the most modern one, and then I'll try and reach into other ones if my mind can remember what they are. But this is a weird morning I had once, which is a completely true. All my stories are completely true. Nothing's exaggerated or anything like that. I just say how it is, This one's insane. So I got up one morning, and I used to have like a 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom little flat thing in Stoke-on-Trent. And one morning I've got up, and I was supposed to be helping my mate feed his dogs, So I had to get up about 9 o'clock in the morning to go feed his dogs, or 8 o'clock or something. And I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth, as you do, and I heard this girl's voice. So it sort of sounded like a disembodied voice. And I never had this experience before in my life, hearing voices in my house. And I heard, "Hello, hello." And I'm like, what the fuck was that? I thought it was coming from outside. So I went into my bedroom to check. And lo and behold, it was like nobody in my bedroom. But the voice had definitely come from that area of the house. So I've gone downstairs and I checked in my lounge to see if anything there. I've opened all the windows up, looked round the corner, see if any girls or whatever, ladies are walking past and they're talking to someone else. But it kind of made me feel a little bit like, what the fuck, that was a bit weird. It gets weirder though, because I go over to my mate's house. Now he's got like a back door that can only be opened inwardly like that. And before I lock up his house every night, always make sure I lock that back door, obviously. And in the mornings when I go around, let the dogs out in the back garden. Now, this is where it's a bit strange. So just after that disembodied voice, about 45 minutes later, he doesn't live that far away from me. I've gone over to the house, unlocked the front door, gone over to the back door to let the dogs out, and there's a pair of his shoes, which don't fit me, by the way, so I want to put them on for any reason. They're about size 9. I'm a size 11 and a half, 12. So I've got quite big feet compared to that. There's no way I'd get my feet in them anyway. Neatly, by the back door, is a pair of shoes lined up perfectly. Now, considering I was there at 11 o'clock the night previous, you know what I mean? Like, well, you know, like, that would just get in the way of the door if those shoes had been there. I wouldn't have been able to let the dogs out the night before without moving those shoes and then putting them back there, which I didn't do. So we've got this neat pair of shoes lined up at the back door, blocking the door from being opened. And I've looked at this pair of shoes and I've gone, what the fuck? This is a weird day already. I've had a girl's voice. Now these shoes neatly lined. It's not like the dogs have put them there, is it? It's not like the dogs have put the shoes on and wandered around the house in them, and I thought we'd better neatly take them off by the back door. So that really did creep me out because I'd been there the night before. I was a very clean kind of person, you know, and I used to clean my friend's house for him whilst looking after his dogs. If I cooked around there or whatever, if the place just needed a quick clean, because he'd go away regularly and come back and go regularly, and he was too busy doing what he was doing to always clean his house immaculately. So I'd be like, well, I'll clean his porch and that area where I'd take the dogs out, you know. So I'd already cleaned that area. It was already mopped and cleaned because the dogs make a bit of a mess when they come in as well. They'd bring leaves in and, you know, dirt and muck on their paws. So I'd give it a quick mop and stuff like that. So the night prior to that, I'd already moved all those shoes to the side, like really far to the side of this area. So it's like, okay, why the fuck is there a pair of shoes just sat there? His shoes sat there neatly as well, neatly placed, not like clumsily placed, like I'd kicked them there accidentally the night before. The dogs had moved them and put them down, you know, picked them up with the, you know, mouth and put them down. Nothing like that. So, you know, I thought that's where the strangers would end that day. But I brought my girlfriend round that night, and we saw this, he had like this electrical box that was exposed in the kitchen. We saw this like weird red LED lights. That's what it looked like. This is all in the same day, by the way. I'm looking at this light and I'm thinking, it's a bit weird, like little light on there. I wonder what that is. I've never seen that before. So we went up because I don't know that night we didn't think much of it. Like, who does, you know, it's just a red light, who gives a shit. But the next day I went up to see what that light was, just out of curiosity because I'd never seen it. And I thought, you know, something may have been left on, or just a little bit concerned about it really because I'd never noticed it before. And I looked in the box. There was no red light. There was no LED lights to be found in that box. Just a box with normal electricity, you know, like electrical wiring stuff in a housed box. Just a solid plastic grey housed box with wires coming off from down it. I could get him to explain it better to you because he is an electrician after all, but I turned to her and I said, there's no red light in this box, you know. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, there's no red light in this box. And I'd already explained to her obviously what had happened with the shoes and the disembodied voice. So yeah, that's my second story, and make of that what you will, but those three things combined in the same day, to me, felt a little like, what's going on with that, you know? Could have been followed by a ghost, maybe. Was something watching us? Maybe. Is it possible that something was trying to fuck with my head? Definitely. I would say definitely something was, I don't know what, but, you know, we all have creepy experiences, but that in particular was pretty strange for in the one day. You know, you'd expect those kind of things to happen over a grand period of time, but all in the same day, all from the morning to the night time. Red light that can't be found in the box. I mean, I looked in this box deep. I went all the way to the back of it because it was sort of like a wooden thing that housed it that he took off. So it was just exposed, but you'd normally have a wooden panel you'd put back on at the front like that. And for there to be no red lights in there whatsoever, nothing that could emit red light, and the kitchen light was off and it was dark. You could just see this piercing red, what looked like an LED bulb poking through. You know, only a little tiny thing, only something like that big, shining through the kitchen in this box. Tiny little red light on its own, singular light, not a set of eyes or anything like that. So yeah, tell me what you think about that story if you're interested in stuff like this, weird stuff. Not obviously as exciting as my UFO story, but that was truly one of the most strange experiences, the UFO thing. But I've got a few more little stories, and then I'm hoping that people will post some of theirs, because I'll probably run out eventually. I've only got so many. Other than that, I can only talk about other things to do with stuff that I believe in, stuff that I'm not really that au fait with, but might be able to give you a bit of insight into stuff you might not be that au fait with yourself. With me watching a lot of documentaries and things, we can talk about all sorts of topics, you know, from giants back in the day, wizards, fairies. I've got it all. I've got loads of little things that I've watched, that I've picked up on, and we'll go into more depth with those another day. But for now, you know, if you guys have got any stories that's similar to that in any way, I'd be amazed if you do have anything similar to that particular set of weird experiences in the same day. They don't seem connected either, which is weird as well. And the fact that Shu's been by a back door just after hearing a disembodied voice, I don't really see the connection there, and I don't see the connection with the red light. But again, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide what to make of that one. Like I say, these are honest stories. They're not jazzed up for any particular special reason. And this section of my channel is really just to give the channel a little bit more oomph and to get new people involved in the channel, you know. I hope you enjoyed my last 10 MC freestyle things I did. Now, when I put them up, I noticed there was one that was the same. So if that's a problem, I'm sorry, because I didn't realise I might have done the same tune twice, but that proves it's freestyle at least, doesn't it? So, you know, like I say, I've got something I've done for a girl that I known at school that wanted me to do a freestyle rap for. That is on the way, by the way. It's just, I haven't got around to doing it just yet. I've had a few weird issues with my gland swelling up after my wisdom tooth came through, so yeah, there's been that. But it's quite hot today, so if I'm looking a bit sweaty, that's because it's fucking hot in here. But anyway, let me know what you think if you're interested, and we'll go from there.